Oops. Fucking subconscious brain doing things. I had an intro, but because I accidentally hit that button, I forgot what it was. Oh yeah, complaining about NVIDIA. Like, they're doing the DLSS 5. It's just like, why are you changing how it looks? That's like not upscaling it. And like, Also, hi, how's it going? Where were we? Is this, I think this part is, yeah, this is...
Paxel, Vile Sword, Steel Paxel, alright. That's the power tree done.
Yeah, that's where we are, right here. So, back to caption, I'm going to zoom out a bit.
So, Vile Sword, Steel Paxel, alright.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Alright. Alright, well, that's the, power tree done. Let's redeem everything. Electric motor, energy pipe, ender tank. Osmium Paxel.
Vile sword.
Vile Sword. Steel Paxel, alright. Another quest, chapter complete. Another quest, chapter complete. Mob fan, another mob fan, another
Mob fan.
Mob fan, another Vile Sword. Sword, cloches, steel casing, thermopedia, chance cubes. While working on ours stuff. Alright. That there, extend that, chance cubes, remove that from there. Right, that's not going to take me to where I need to go, and I think... But so if you want to know what that's all about, yeah. While working on ours stuff, the screen goes yellow, and it turns out the disappointed here. Reactor exploded. From what I can dig up on like Reddit and shit, it was due to me leaving the area unloaded, and that caused some type of issue with like the cooling or whatever. And this is why I'm glad there's an auto backup feature in this pack. Anyways, so yeah. Anyways, back to ours, and it turns out that ours has a boss too. It's just finicky to get to spawn and is just a total joke with our armor and Archangel's ring. And then it's into Blood It's disappointed again, because fuck blood magic. And then it's into blood magic. Angel's Ring. And then it's into blood magic. And I hate blood magic. It's just a mod that forces you to play its way. I don't like the altar tier system. Since you kind of gotta build a tier 5 because of the space you need for it without actually building the tier 5. And the fluid, you're not allowed to really take fluid out of the altar or put brain is flatlining. Okay, is okay. Or put fluid in. It has like 2 tanks technically. It's just annoying. It's a pain to work outside the box. You have to play by its rules. And once you put lifeblood into an orb, it's just gone. To an orb. I'm gonna get the mad one because this is total bullshit. It's just gone. You can't use it in an altar for other things. It just must be used for rituals, which I don't like. Let's see what our
bitches love cannons.
I'll leave that up to you to count that or not, because I didn't get scared, but you did catch me off guard. Kind of like if something falls and you're like, the fuck was that? So that's up to you. If you... I'm paying attention. I forgot I had that one.
You've awoken something deep inside me. You've awoken something deep inside me.
I want to add the Coconut Mall one before stream, but all the ones I found were just bass boosted to blow out your eardrums, so I have to go find the original Coconut Mall video and go and rip the audio from it. Ugh. Mundo Mall. I gotta have both. Let's see what our rewards are. Hey, a diamond Paxel. We have, like, and y'all are just, you can just DM me sound effects you want me to add. Just like, if it's funny, I'll add it. We have one of those. White laser lens and a fluid transporter. Neat. The next hour is more like... I just really do love the Jin one, just because it's able to do all the different sound effects. Like, I could have 1,000 sound effects in that folder, and we'll just pick one. The next hour is more or less just going through the blood magic quest line slowly. Fucking blood magic. Slowly, painfully. Mainly because of the sacrificial knife that's painful. Either way. Gosh. Just checking in on the reactor every now and then, just to make sure it's not going to explode randomly. I got paranoid after that, so yeah. The only other thing of note is the watch carousel. Watch it go. This eventually just became a chicken death carousel, because they would just get trapped in it. Continuing with blood magic, we do eventually make it to a tier 2 altar. So much altar. So weird where it decides to splice.
Good for you.
Congratulations. So much blood. All from me. So then we get our... I have to sad for this. I sound sad. Sometimes I wish it would just split captions based on periods. Maybe that'll be something for DaVinci 21, because I believe this is DaVinci 20 right now. Yeah, we're on DaVinci 20.2. So much blood. All from me. So then we get our hands on a sacrificial dagger, which allows us to use other mobs, and we look into a way to spawn other mobs on top of the altar. And we just kind of give up and just decide to use the mob farm we already have to just spawn mobs and just use their blood. I misspoke, we made a tier 3, because now we're trying to make a tier 4, but just can't, because we need to like go to another dimension or something with the rituals and all that shit. Here's another problem we're having. The mob fan isn't problem we're having. I'll put mad here because this is just such a stupid problem. The mob fan is like the fan is supposed to push them constantly. It's supposed to be just a constant force. There's like the wolf guy you can barely see here. It is coming towards me, probably also the creeper and the zombie, but the enderman and the spider aren't and isn't pushing the mobs forwards. And so we just have to go in there and try to get them to stop spawning and all that. Like some reason, moving mobs is a difficult thing in this pack. I do not know why. Some reason, moving mobs is a difficult thing in this pack. I do not know why. We obsidian up the mob farm so creepers can't blow up the floor because they've just been getting aggroed by not us for some reason. Try vector plates over the fans we were using, but the mobs seem to gain immunity to them after being pushed like a few times. This whole hour is honestly just me trying to reinvent the mob farm. Also, the game crashes. I forgot what counter we were on. We do end up with... Hold on, let me add a marker and then go find... Where is it? I think it's here. Oh. Yeah, crash counter. So we were on 8, this is 9. Let's go back to the marker. Also, the game crashes. Oh, there we go. Move that up, make it a bit larger. Change the shading here. There we go. We do end up with this vertical tower format with multiple levels and vector plates, and it kind of works. Another 40-ish minutes of fucking about with the mob farm and various blood magic things to culminate in us being able to go to the dimension we need to go to. Too bad my... I get the mad face, because this is just fucking stupid and annoying. Too bad my main issue with this place is that you need these keys to open the doors, but you are not guaranteed a key in a room. So you can open one room, it gives you one free key, and then you're trapped. You gotta make more keys. That's just an annoying way to do a dungeon like that. And I just expressly hate it. Expressly hate it. We also sacrifice this horse to the old gods for fruit and shit. Progress on this hour. I think the main tone of this hour is just trying to get the mob farm to work by itself, so I don't have to stand here and just use the sack dagger on it. So I think it would... I think that'd be sack dash dagger. Dagger on it so I can have blood and mob souls, so we can just not be... So we can do other things in the meantime while we just store up blood, more or less. That's not allowed. Blood, more or less. That... Caps lock is on. Doesn't matter. It's gonna... It's all gonna be converted into caps locks later anyways. That's not allowed, really, unfortunately. Finally, something that can be seen as progress. progress, we actually build a little system that allows us to get blood at a reasonable rate with watches, but still a reasonable rate. And it's just a mob duplicator, just chickens in a safari net. Safari nut. In a safari net, and just keep smacking them with the sack dag, and it's just sack dag, and it's just powered by the EXP from the mob farm. It's very nice. But then, of course, as we're going through the quest, we have to stop. Nice. But then, of course, as we're going through the quest, we have to stop going for blood and start going for demon will, which start going for there it is. Demon will, which just means swapping out the chicken for like a zombie villager and using the snare things, which is just another layer of annoyance, and I hate it. We do another layer of annoyance, and I hate it. We do manage to make it to the tier 4 altar, but then we more or less just immediately need to hit tier 5, which means going back into the demon realm. But I'm going to re-roll our little dungeon, break this pillar, and just do the ritual again. Too bad that just takes a lot of chickens and a lot of time, but hey, we get back into it. And of course, more or less immediately, just but hey, we get back into it. And of course, more or less immediately, just run out of keys and no more way to get any besides just going back home. We make this a sword thing that harvests his demon will, so we don't have to use the stupid snares, and it just makes getting the keys a bit easier. And speaking of the keys, craft the keys, 7 of them, because it just takes so much blood and just, it's an annoyance, and hopefully this allows us to actually get what we need in the demon realm. And as we're going through the demon dungeon, we actually find a room with the demon ore in it. And can I just say the problem with long internet? Because the issue is things get updated, but the old, outdated information will still be called upon in modern times. Because somebody said something about a blue door, it needs its own special key, and that's the only way to get the demon ore. But no, it's just right here. I don't understand. And either way, back to the base, we complete tier 5, do some other stuff, complete the actual questing chapter, so now we're fucking done with it. Contemplate doing industrial foregoing again. Industrial 4. It's not 4 as in the number 4, it's 4 as in 4! Somebody was then clonked with a golf ball. For industrial 4 going again. Fuck that. Going again. Fuck that. I'd rather do Britannia. Yeah, and I already don't like Britannia. Why are you spelling Britannia like that? You know, you've gotten Britannia right before. It's weird, Britannia. Now that that's all done, it's... I feel like... Did I just not cut out these pauses? I feel like I did. But then I... What the fuck? I swear, there's just like moments that don't make sense as to why they're here. Because that should have been cut. I have no idea why it wasn't. It's very strange. Now that that's all done, it's time to redeem every last quest in here. And there's this shit. It's time to redeem every last quest in here. You know, that's why the pause wasn't cut out, because that's not voice recording, that's the gameplay recording. I actually paused there. It's time to redeem. It's time to... You can't even tell that I skipped anything. The mouse doesn't move, it's fine. Next. So we got... Rest spacer. So we got another book. We don't need sigil magnetic... Magnetism. Sigil magnetism, diamond ore, item pipes, dielectric casing, skull sense. I think that's how you spell it. Yes. Casing, skull sensor, uncommon backpack, XP jelly babies, botany pod, tangled. I need so much clay over on the SMP. At least we're on 1.20, so you can convert dirt into mud into clay. Babies, botany pod, tangled block, diamond hammer, piston, chiseled block. The fuck is that? Absorption hopper, chemical tank, width upgrade, reinforced hammer, and redstone flex frame. Reinforced hammer. Frame. That's frame, not blurry. Yeah, I need a lot of clay over on the SMP because I need a lot of botany pots. Redstone flex frame. Because what we're doing, we're expanding the villagers again just so I can have more XP and more trades. So I'm just going to get a bunch of farmer villagers that trade crops and just let the crops grow and then just trade with them. And you get your emeralds, you get your XP, and Britannia. Britannia, it is a cool mod for what it does and how it does it, but it doesn't have numbers, and that's why I hate it. I can't tell how much mana I'm actually making. I don't know how much mana is being used for something. I don't know. I just have these stupid dinky little bars. I just have these stupid dinky little bars that don't mean anything, and I can't fucking look at numbers and actually figure out what they mean. Like, I was making so little mana that items on the terrestrialization plate despawned, which is another fucking despawned. Which is another fucking thing that is annoying, because they have the ability to not have shit despawn with the fucking tablet mana pools. Maybe that's just because it's its own item, but I feel like you should be able to detect that it's on the plate and not despawn it. That's why that's why the altar is better than that. Because it just holds items. New day. Fuck Britannia for a moment. Let's make a transmutation table. Again, weird choices with where to cut and put words. Hell yeah. Great item. Love it. And then, well, we go down more of the Project E quest line because we're just honestly waiting for mana. We can't do anything without mana, so we're just waiting for it. And then I could never get these personal EMC things to work. I couldn't get items out of them. I think it was just the pipes I was using because it works in other people's videos, so I think it's just me. Make the cosmic meatballs, which was the easier of the two food items. And then there's the cosmic stew. I think it's actually ultimate stew, but it's still, it's a pain to make. I don't know. We have the sat for this because goddamn it's a pain to make. I don't know why I got completely sidetracked with it because we need so much. get some crops going for the ultimate stew, but since we're going to have to do this anyways, let's just fight the guy. What the fuck just happened? So let's just fight the Gaia Guardian. Actually, I can get rid of myself there. Yep, that's... Hold on. Let me unmute that for the bit. Yep, that's why I was... For some reason, the Gaia Guardian just has a hella rift playing in the background. Yep, that's why I was... expecting and worried about. I think it was... So, wait, you can get... Finger's not working. About... Because we don't need this giant-ass text box here. I think it was jukebox and blocks. This jukebox and... I did say blocks. Blocks. Turn that down to like 1%. Yep, there we go. It's a lot quieter now. Behold, the Guardian of Gaia. So weird. Like, it's me, technically. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Get a load of this. Oh, I should add that one. This fight is honestly just a wash, more or less, because... This fight is honestly just a wash, more or less, because we can't be killed since we have the gem armor. We do get a Ring of Loki for fighting the stronger version of Gaia, though, but I can never get these drop. But I can never get these drop items to, like, ever work. So, even with the wiki's help, I don't know how they work. It just doesn't. Expand the Neutronium collection system since we are going to need an absolute ton of it. And then just go take the ME system, put anything that has an EMC value into the transmutation tablet. What's this transportation? Into the transmutation tablet, because why waste storage space when we can just turn it into just a number that will eventually become more items, you know? By the way, the reactor exploded again. It happened this time because the infinite water gauntlet ran out of water. The reactor exploded again. It happened this time because the infinite water gauntlet ran out of water. And I will admit to using commands to fix my personal radiation so the screen just isn't fucking yellow. Fucking yellow the whole time. Afterwards, we just fix up the reactor because we still need a whole lot of polonium. So not much, no other way to get polonium. But our next big step is dupable singularities. That would be, probably more like that. Dupable singularities. Singularities are just a bunch of the same item crammed together, and you need them for the final stuff to finish off the pack. And we just start crafting our ways to the first items, which just lead us into the dungeon instead of using sand. Into the dungeon instead of using sand to get cactus, we look for ferns, which can be ground into cactus green. Yeah, I don't understand my thought process either. And then just boost the chickens with the watches so we can get even more coal for more EMC so we can just dupe all these items. Wrong dupe. these items. After doing some math, it turns out emerald chickens are better than the coal chickens. It turns out emerald chickens or tea. Don't worry, you're not too late. Are better than the coal
Bitches love cannons.
Hooray, cannons. Chickens. So we just replace all the coal. Replace all the coal chickens with emerald chickens. Let's continue on this math train for a second because we need to see how much of everything. You're stressed? What's got you stressed, T? Thing we need to be able to craft all the final items so we can actually finish the pack. And it comes out to a full chest of each of the different singularities and the like meat. Oh yeah, the ACT. I totally forgot that thing existed. I think I took the SAT. I forget. Different singularities and the like meatballs, all the other little things we need for the Infinity Catalyst. And one of those singularities is mob souls. Gee, that's like over 10 years ago. I have no fucking idea. It's just going to be the same as any other test. There's categories. Just do your best. One of those singularities is mob souls. So we need to start collecting those instead of just trashing them. And for some dumb reason, we make electric motors and for some dumb reason, we make electric motors and are you potentially eating food? Like a midnight snack? Replace the floor of the mob farm with the mob farm with I mean, that works. Up farm with create belts, right? So you could be doing worse. Right. Got me an atomic ally. Get Yeah, they're not good at math because they're not doing math. They don't. But you ask any AI to do math, they're not going to do math. They're going to just predict words that sound correct, more or less. I mean, technically, just like GPT is just made to predict the next word based on the things you put into it. So it's not like it can't even call upon a calculator if a task calls for it. They're not general use, even though they can do a lot of things. They're not general use. Get the compressor line going for the dupable sync. Dupable singularities. Too bad you must import items from the must import items from the top of the machines. annoying. This is also the section where I have issues with the EMC leak, so we just bridge the gap using Mark II energy condensers. Emeralds to items, items to singularities. Easy. After that, we head off to the mines, because we need uranium for the uranite singularity. Granted, we could have just used chickens. I think we did use chickens. But hey, chickens. So after a bunch of chicken breeding, we get back to base and we're working on the uranite singularity. For some singularity. I'm mad one again, because I think I'm just a fucking idiot here. For some fucking reason, I don't know why, we decided to use a timer and a dropper instead of, like, I don't know, what we eventually did, which was a knot. No, not a knot gate, like tying a knot gate as in computers. Which was a knot gate and a timer to stop a hopper, because the issue is that the energizing... That reminds me, I need to figure out if I can make a 1-bit T flip-flop horizontal in Minecraft, because with the version of Minecraft we have on the SMP, we don't have copper bulbs. Copper bulbs... At least I'm pretty sure we don't have copper bulbs, because copper bulbs came out later. Let's see, I'm looking it up. History... Yeah, it came in 1.21, and we're on 1.20. So yeah. So we don't have copper bulbs, which in Minecraft are basically a 1-bit T flip-flop. Oh, that's not DaVinci, this is DaVinci. Like, you can make a 1-bit T flip-flop vertically. I just don't know if you can do it horizontally. If I can do it horizontally, I can be a whole lot more evil in the challenge I'm going to make on the SMP. So that the energizing orb, if you put 2 items in there, it's not going to do 2 of them at the same time. That's a different recipe you just put in there. So yeah, you need to space it out based on how fast it can actually process and remove items. So yeah, we use a dropper and the timer, which just has this horrible ticking sound. Which just has to... I have a theory on how I can do a horizontal 1-bit T flip-flop. By the way, what that means is that if I input power, a pulse of power into the T flip-flop, it then turns on the output and stays on until I pulse the power again. Then it turns off the output. Which just has this horrible ticking sound throughout the whole time. I don't know why we did this. I'm stupid. This. Oh, why we... Weird. I'm stupid. Run into a problem with how the ME crafting system works. Yeah, that's not okay. Fix the ticking with just a torch, repeater, which just makes the NOT gate. It's so weird how it won't pick up on that, yet it will pick up on other things with context. Which just makes the NOT gate I mentioned. And then just spend the rest of the hour making more energizing rods to hopefully speed up the nitro... The stream also having a... Yeah, maybe. Probably not. Speed up the nitro crystal process. Nitro crystals are made the same way as... are made the same way as the uranite, just with more items, thus making it harder to... More items, thus make... Items, thus making it harder to put together. And two of them are the same, so it just complicates it even more. But I just had enough sides, so I just went with hoppers and a timer again. Wanted to use ME, but again. Wanted to use ME. Want to use ME, but I was just too stupid. Use ME, but I was just too stupid at this point. We fix it in like 40 hours. We get a power flyer from a quest reward. Just like, well, at the end of the day, I don't fucking care. But like, is there like any basis to that? Because I don't know anything about the company behind ChatGPT at all. Like, are they based in Israel, or do they just have fucking military contracts with Israel or something like that? We get a power flyer from a quest reward. It's just a mini multi-block that makes EMC from light. It could replace the emerald chickens if I could get the EMC links to work. Next two singularities we're going to do are the train tracks, which just, it's a line, a create line. Oh, it's a go-to joke about fucking Netanyahu. The big Yahoo! I'm just imagining somebody just doing a bit and just throwing Mario on the screen every time they have to say Yahoo! Line, create line, and some energy condensers, just bang, 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 easy. What's not easy is the emerald cluster thing. What's not easy... What's not easy is the emerald cluster singularity, especially since I forgot builders can have filters, so I didn't need 6 different builders for each side of the block. I could have just used one. And we are back into a... what we have here? A section. Face doesn't matter, just the captions. What we have here? Bread, Green Grove, Netherite, Frozen Lake, range tier 10, holding, and furnace wrapping papers. And that gave us a flux storage, but ooh, dark power flower Mark II. That's nice. Drink water. Ow. After a bit of thinking of what we want to automate next, we go for the balloons, which require hemp fiber. So we look into ways to grow a ton of that. After not After not finding a very good way to grow a ton of hemp fiber, we pivot to making a giant smeltery so we can get massive amounts of pig iron. And instead of expanding the dupe wall because of AE2's... For some reason I keep wanting to press 3, I have no idea. All because of AE2's channel system. Well, because of AE2's channel system. That's not correct. We just replaced some of the items for honey and rotten flesh, since those are part of the ingredients needed for pig iron. The emerald singularity. The emerald. This is one of the weirder bugs that it does, since those are part of the... Wrong side. There we go. And slice there. Emerald singularity done. And that gave us a copy-paste gadget. Thanks. That gives us... those for the train, which gave us honey cake. And that gave us diamond upgrade. Neat. Luckily, A2. Why does it keep dropping the E? It's like I can clearly hear myself say E, AE2. Luckily, A2 play. Yeah. I don't know why it keeps dropping. It's nice here. It's just a pattern provider on the smeltery, auto casting system, and export bus with a crafting card. I more or less don't need to worry about pig iron. It'll just go until. Just don't need to worry about. Pig iron, it'll just go. Wrong image. Until my math is off again, it just clocks as smeltery. Not clocks, clogs. Shitter's clogged. Not again. What do you mean again? I tried to rearrange the bookmarked item. I tried to rearrange the bookmarked items in my inventory. Not allowed, apparently. Make some high-level Klein stars. They're giant. Yeah. Klein. Full Klein stars. They're just also stars, not starts. EMC bombs, more or less. Since the emerald chickens are not really keeping up with the dupe singularities that we need, get a simple setup for source gems going and then just work on upgrading the power flower we got, since it's just free EMC, and if you add watches of flowing time, that's a lot of free EMC. And we just end the day by clearing out a new section of base because clearing out a new section of base because we are running out of space up here. A new section of base. That's extra strange. Very weird, very, very weird. Section of base because we are running out of space up here. And diamond upgrade. Oh, it just gave like. Yep. Very strange. I wish this gave, like, some hints on. Go back to. Go back to doing Britannia. Yeah, since I forgot we had to do Britannia. Damn it. Botania. Had to do Botania. Do the stupid. Do the mad face, because I'm just upset with myself on this one. Do the stupid method of having magnetic lenses on the mana spreaders, because I'd rather have all the mana I could need than just make mana as needed. For some reason. We also expand source gems by just adding more. I forget what they're called. Oh well. And just wish that Endoflames could wish that Endoflames could take items off of pedestals instead of needing dropped items to feed themselves to make mana. Look into other plants that can generate mana and just say fuck it and don't use any of them. Move on to the mechanism ethylene loop, which is more of an early game power generation system, which didn't really help our power issues, so that was a wash. Since we were being limited by the hoppers on the dupe wall, we just take down all the wires and just hook up the import buses directly to them, so that the pig iron isn't just slow as fuck anymore. Granted, this will bite me in the ass a little bit later, but yeah, things for later. And then we get to work on making all the meatballs, the cosmic meatballs. Luckily, everything there is dupable minus the nuggets, so very nice. After getting the meatballs automated, we go for the Endus Pearl, which it because originally they're called Ender Pearls, and this is the Endist Pearl. Ha! Pearl, which is just a pain because of how long. Just a pain because of how large the crafting area is, and the piping you gotta do because it's a ring craft, so you gotta make sure you don't cross the streams and put things in the wrong spot and just break everything. We do look for a way to store some energy, so if we just need it on tap, we have it. Since I don't want to make lithium, we just go with the energy cubes for mechanism. Ah, fuck. Damn it. I just realized I didn't... Here. Didn't catch my fucking eye. Get to making the balloons in honest this time. And the other annoying part of the balloons is creosote oil, but for that we have a pyrolyzer. Since thermal fixed our creosote oil problem, it will also fix our hemp fiber problem with a phytogenic insulator, which is just a mini greenhouse. The hard part is getting it to loop, because you need the seeds it makes for more fiber, since you can't just trash them, unlike with a cloche, which just keeps the seeds it grows. And since we need 3 chests worth of polonium, we decide to just make a giant reactor and blow up the small one again in the process. At least there wasn't so much radiation as to turn the screen yellow and constantly hurt me. And like I said would happen, the smeltery gets clogged, and the simple fix is just to clear out the area above it and just build it taller so it can fit more stuff in it, so it'll take longer to clog the next time. Yeah. Anyways, the reactor needs water to run. Without exploding, at least. The reactor needs water to run. If it didn't have water, it would explode. You can still run it without water. It will just explode. The missile knows where it is, because the missile knows where it isn't. Exploding, at least. The problem is... Without exploding, at least. The problem is that we can't put enough water into the reactor than what it drinks. So we waste time trying to put more... Maybe I should add the missile one to the Jin sound effect. So we waste time trying to put more water in the reactor rather than just trying to... I wonder what's causing those chugs. It's weird. I wonder if it's the hard drive. Trying to recycle the water, which is the correct thing to do. Also, it did generate a new clip over here, so that might just be because of that or something. And when I said waste time putting more water in the reactor, I really meant it. This whole hour is that, me trying to put more water in the reactor. I don't know about the future ones yet, but the voiceover me in the future will know. Hooray, voiceover me in the future. Future. There's no voice here. Why is there no fucking... No, Huh? Something got fucked up here. Hold on, let me see if there's an easy way to do this. Select the video clip on your timeline, press F. Well, it's selected. I'm going to go over here. I don't think that's not doing anything. Oh, wait, no, I think I see. Hold on. Open the source viewer and then drag only the audio icon. How the fuck do I do that? This? Ah, I see. Has that potentially? No. I think we're good. Minus having... Just plonk that like that. I think we're good. Oh, we can redeem. Okay. Let's set that to 25. Well, I'm glad I know that exists. I'll forget it exists, but I'm glad it's here. I'm glad I can look it up to see what it is again. We can redeem. We can redeem. And that gave us a battery. Actually, don't wait. Readjust this. There we go. I'm going to hit in. There we go. That gives us the rough amount of time we need to go through, which is about 26 minutes. Ads are going to hit here in a second, unfortunately. Actually, don't waste more time on the water and move to the compact machine singularity, which is rather easy thanks to create, as the deployers can place the iron block and the redstone on top of the iron at the same time, and then we just add a timer and a dropper so the ender pearls just plonk down at the right time, and it absorption hopper into the compressor, and bada bing bada boom. Easy. And break time. Ugh. Those like squishmallows are cute and all, but their texture is just terrible and I hate them. Then it's back to the water. You know what? The hell is this icon? Oh, voice. Oh, yeah, you can do voiceover in DaVinci natively. There we go. Fixed it. Then it's back to the water. But only to clear the area so we can make another... Water. But only to clear the area so we can make another turbine so we can recycle it properly. We actually know that's going. Oh, sigil of suppression. Great. Don't know what that does, and nor do I really care. Although... Although we are recycling the water now, it's not perfect, so we do need to supplement the water if we want the reactor to react more and make more waste, so we can convert that into even more polonium so we don't have to wait as long. In other news, we get more watches for the neutronium. Too bad watches have a diminishing return, but faster is faster and we need a lot of more neutronium, so much that we actually add even more collectors. Get to work on the range upgrade singularity, the one that requires a whole lot of latex, and while we can build a wall that generates latex from logs, we can't build an opposite wall to place those logs. Unless I unclaim the chunks, which I just didn't do this time around. And it's something we fix later, as we do. Do a mana reset for Botania, because the magnets are just not working out. Test the cake-eating flowers for a bit before getting upset that mana isn't a fluid. Mana isn't a fluid I can just pipe around anywhere. Then we got an advanced item collector from that. Start clearing out another area. Why is this one so loud? Start clearing out another area because we need to get going on the ultimate stew, which is going to take up a lot of space, and we get started on it with space, and we get started on it. Space, and we. So we get started on it with just the easily dupable items. And then moving on from that, we need pumpkin slices. Too bad we're stupid and forgot how to... Too bad we're stupid and forgot how to power immersive engineering machines. We do eventually get it. Kinda. We just go down the list in... Why are these now so loud? Order for the ultimate stew, since if it's out of order in the crafting grid on the create crafters, it's not going to craft and everything's just going to end up on the floor repeatedly. And the first one that's non-dupable is just a fruit salad, which you can just dupe the ingredients and then just put it into a crafter and boom. Same thing with a kebab that's next, and then some more duped items. We get briefly confused. We get briefly confused because I thought a hamburger patty was substitutable for steak. They have the same, like, texture. They're different shapes, so I got confused. And to make the hamburger patties, we gotta make this overly complicated device for slicing meats. Sound is terrible. God, that sound is terrible. Merry Christmas, but I think all of them, that's odd. Oh yeah, didn't we change things? I think we changed things. You know what? I've totally forgotten, nor do I care anymore. I'm gonna just do a quick oop, and it's fixed. God, that sound is terrible. Merry Christmas, by the way. The chests are now all presents. We bring over an ME line because we're going to need it for all the channels, for the auto crafting, the food, and such. We need a lot, actually. Get the first set of common dupable ingredients going, so we just have those in the ME system on deck using storage buses, so we're actually not using any storage. Finally find the muffler option by accidentally hovering our mouse over it and having the text pop up. Who changes the UI without, like, adding it outside the box? That's why I didn't notice. We make a better slicer, so it's not just working all the time, but works on a ME crafting call. It's also extremely quieter. And we knock out some items using the ME system to craft them instead of using crafters before getting into the actual bullshit of this item. Get the first cooking pot item going. Cooking pots must be imported from the top, which is annoying. Pre-space out the ME cables on the crafting wall since we can only do 8 channels per purple cable. And an purple cable. An inadvertent flaw of the ME crafting system is an inability to do bulk items when using other mods processing items, like how everything just gets dumped into the pot, so the recipe is just invalid then. Time for the second ME cable. Realize I fucked up the pre-spacing of all these cables since I connected the cables wrong. Oops. Preempted third cable time, because one of the other things with the cooking pots is that they have an extra slot for a container, such as a bowl. But if you put a bowl in the top with the rest of the items, it doesn't go there. So you have to put it in the side, and that just spends more. Put a bowl in the top with the rest of the items, it doesn't go there. So you have to put it in the side, and that just spends more channels. Another thing with the cooking pots is that the recipes are shaped, but they're kind of not, since 2 tomatoes stacked does not equal tomato bisque. But still don't know why I called it tomato bisque. It's tomato sauce. 2 tomatoes unstacked does, but the order of the items otherwise doesn't matter. So that's a problem, but we just fix it by putting a whole stack of tomatoes.
Bitches love cannons.
All right, you can count that one for sure. God damn. Ugh. Stack of tomatoes in there, and then, yeah, that works for a bit. That works. For a bit. For a bit. Issue with leftover glass bottle because of milk in a recipe and we're just using bottles of milk. But nothing an item collector in a trash can won't fix because it just ejects it for some reason. Because it just ejects it for some reason. Which is odd. Now Now for the fourth dense ME cable. And other than that, it's just more and more cooking pots, more and more cables. The config we have for these cooking pots, it just works. Even with the stuffed pumpkin, you just replace the bowl with a pumpkin and bada bing, bada boom. Fix a filter issue. Fix a filter issue on the mop soles. And I forgot mop. I'm going to Google this word and see what fucking pops up. That's not a word, Da Vinci. At least it tries to guess when it feels like, oh, that's not a word, but I think you said this. Issue on the mop soles since we were accidentally because with like fake words in places, it makes it a whole lot easier. Accidentally trashing some, depending on which pipe grabbed them first. For some reason, despite duping milk bottles first. For some reason, despite duping milk bottles, which we can empty, I think it was because I didn't want to deal with the glass bottles it made me get an actual cow to be milked constantly. A quick trip to the nether because we need another blaze burner. And after much finagling with create, we get the last item into the crafting wall and do a quick check and let her rip. Hey babe, blip, 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 blip. Let's fight. Ooh, I wonder if I should add that one. Yeah, I just realized this one also doesn't have a voice. I don't think it needs it. Yeah, there's just... Yeah, no, it's fine without it. Very little fanfare. But then we run into the... Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, right. But then we run into the issue of tomato sauce. I don't know why I called it bisque earlier. The issue by having a stack of tomatoes in there, the ME system makes a call for tomato sauce, inputs two the ME system makes a call for tomato sauce, inputs 2 tomatoes. Yeah, T.
Bitches love cannons.
You tried. You really tried. The ME system makes a call for tomato sauce, inputs 2 tomatoes, it then crafts 2 sauces, which then brings the stack down to... T, good luck on the ACT. I'm sure you'll do well. It's the stack down to 62, so on the next call, it puts in 2 more tomatoes, but it gets put into the stack so it hits 64, and it will craft... I don't think I was that prepared for my SAT test either. But that's like the whole point of school, technically, is to be ready for these tests and shit. I forget what I got, and I don't think you can technically flunk the ACT or the SAT. Like, you can get a bad score, but I don't think you can, like, fail. I think I was average. I was good enough to get into... I was good enough to be accepted by the college I applied for, but then fucking financing shenanigans happened. Craft anything. I mean, but what's the penalty if you flunk? There's like no penalty. It's only just for like college and shit. So the whole thing backs up. I solved this problem by just completely ditching the ME crafting and just having a hopper, a not gate, and a timer system again, since we're likely never going to actually fill up on so much sauce to the point of it's actually being a problem, so we can just let it run. The only tricky part is the timing on the timer so that it's fast enough to keep up, but not too fast as to accidentally make a third stack and thus break. We get started on the mana ingot singularity, which from my math needs about 4 double chests of iron blocks. Tried doing it by hand for a bit, but that's just going to be slow and a problem and annoying. So something I learned is that mana the pharmacology stuff. Well, then yeah, that's a problem, technically, if only one place. But then you could potentially try out of state. But then that's more expensive, and it's just... Life is a game of, well, let's see what happens. Is that mana pools can give off a comparator signal based on how much mana is actually in the pools. So, by using this, our favorite not gate timer combo... Really hard acceptance. Let's see. Some droppers and item collectors. We got an automated system to drop iron. One thing to remember is that it's not all just test scores. There is more to it than that. But, yeah. We got an automated system to drop iron when there's enough mana to transmute it into mana steel. It's like, if things don't work out, you'll figure out what to do next. I kinda did. So I got tired of placing... logs for the latex, so I made a system that just places logs and moves them into the gaps as they show up. The only issue is that I had to unclaim the chunks, otherwise the log placer wouldn't place logs, since it technically counts as a player in the code. There's just one last singularity to automate, and it's fucking blood. And it's... fucking blood magic. So let's get to it, and immediately off on the wrong foot because I am missing an orb. I honestly don't care, I'm just more curious as to where the fuck it went. I honestly don't care. I'm just more curious as to where the fuck it went. I don't think I ever found it. We relocate the altars, just so we have some space to work with and start making a massive blood bank tank. What was that? Oh my gosh. Fear. Tank with just a bunch of jumbo. With just a bunch. T, why are you barking so much? Tank with just a. With just a bunch of yapping, not barking. It says bow wow. Bow? Bow wow? Bow? Bow? What the hell am I referencing with that? It's like some type of cartoon. Damn it, I have no idea. Jumbo tanks and pipes. This was a flawed plan. Always check the emote names before spamming. This was a flawed plan. Into hour 91 and Happy New Year. No, like, I can't fucking visualize what cartoon it was. But it's like some guy's about to get beat up, and as more and more bullies approach him or something, he just goes bow, bow wow, bow, bow wow, and then he gets his ass beat.
I just don't fucking remember what I know it's a cartoon, I just don't fucking remember which one. X'd out. Into hour 91 and Happy New Year. If we're going to get all the blood we need for this, we are going to need the Well of Suffering. The Well of Suffering. Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon. Look up Ren and Stimpy. That's what they were showing us. The Well of Suffering. And two things I want to point out. First, might just be a me thing, but radius in Minecraft means cubed radius. So like a cube, not an actual sphere. Second, like a cube. Not an actual sphere. Secondly, since a blood altar must be bound to the well and be within a certain amount of blocks away from it, it just kind of limits how you can do things. There you go, there's a yap. Yap. Things around the altar, and because blood doesn't flow well out of the altar and you can't get blood out of orbs, I just feel so limited on what I can actually do with blood magic, because if this was just like single player, I feel like I'd need multiple blood wells for multiple different things. Unnecessary. Well, we're doing caption review, of course there's a bunch of yapping. It's just, I don't like it. Anyways, we go on a chicken killing spree since we need a bunch of runes and whatnot to actually get this going. In the meantime, we learn how laser IO works, which will be very helpful later. Spend some time I'm trying to automate slate creation, and it just... Oh boy, eeping time. Time for the eep. It just doesn't go well because of the watches and just how it works and all that. We'll come back to that once we actually get it going correctly. Spend more time trying to get... Let's spend more time, not then more time. Spend more time trying to get every different level of slate, so we can just put them in filters and the ME system and such. And then back to trying to automate it for all the slates we need for the runes. And it like kind of works, at least for the first level of slate. Finally get around to building this Well of Suffering. Build out spawning platforms, which, again, wrong radius, so they're pointless. Try starting the ritual, which fails, but still takes my LP. Okay, thanks. Get it to work by placing an altar directly on top of the thing. Bad placing, I know. Hush. And this is where we find out that it means sphere radius. Use a witch. Spherical? Maybe I should add that one to the list. Use a witch to find the outline at the lowest floor we built, so we can just spawn-proof the rest of it, get rid of the other platforms, and just put everything into an obsidian box. Another instance of me being stupid with number. Because why? I'm gonna put an S on there even though I said number. Because why would 5x5 mean 5 out from the center with these evil eggs that make cursed earth? By the way, the Endermen just escape from the well when they get hurt, so we gotta lower the ceiling. Time for a double fun fact. Watches of flowing time don't only make the altar drain faster, it also makes the ritual tick more. And when hooking up a lot of tanks to a pipe network, it won't fill them all evenly. It will pick one at random to fill, but only after a certain amount of tanks. And back to trying to automate erythral slates. Pretty sure that's spelled wrong, but I'm going to put that in the bucket of not giving a fuck. It's not working. Since we gotta do it at some point, let's just get the crafting wall set up for the Infinity Catalyst and get some of the finished and easy to get items moved over. For some reason, there's an egg in here clogging the stew. Since mobs dying in the well do drop items such as mob souls, we set up an item collector system so we can get those, since we still really need mob souls. Reset the blood bank from just tanks on the floor to more of a grid pattern, so we can easily just see how much blood we actually have in total, and just watch it go. It's like a factorial
Bitches love cannons.
You can add that one too. Production line coming to life. We love you too. We get some more of those rotten eggs for more cursed earth, since the more mobs we spawn in the Well of Suffering, the more blood we get. Tear down all but one of the dupable singularity compressors, since that one is the last one we need, and it's taking so long because the item itself can only stack to 1 and it requires like 3,000, so we just retrofit the system to make that singularity with all the other compressors. At this point we have gotten at least one of all the required items for the Infinity Catalyst. We're just missing a full chest worth of about 15 of them. We deal with another infection of Endermen. This time they have come armed with tubas. See if I can't figure out how much mana these cake-eating flowers do. And it turns out you can stack cakes on top of each other. Neat. Quest we haven't redeemed. There they are. Ooh, we actually got quest we haven't redeemed. There they are. Ooh, we actually got a watch. Neat. That and pipe upgrades. That has unlocked. See if we can. See, this is more what I'm looking for when it comes to splitting. See if we can't improve the source gem creation with just another volcanic source link. I honestly don't know how this works, and I'm just taking shots in the dark with it. Improve the fabric making for the balloons by just adding another crafting grid. Make a mob imprisonment tool and capture a witch. I would tell you why, but I immediately got distracted with Botania again. We get to work on setting up better mana generation using the cake-eating flowers and create with the deployers. They can place cakes. We will move this, honestly put it in a stupid spot right now. For some reason, disappointed here. And fix Botania again. For some reason, Botania does not want to work with me. I'll tell the spreader to point at a block, and we'll aim one block, and we'll aim one block to the north of that, even after a relog. So I have no idea what's going on here. I just work through it, and it's not the mode I have the wand in, because it kind of does it in both modes. Tear down the Ender's Pearl crafter, since we don't need it anymore and we can use the parts for something else. And it's weird how you break one crafter on the whole grid and all the items just drop instead of just the one. Strange. Make some grinding wheels and begin work on a new project based on what you're seeing. Can you guess what it is? Comment now. Was your guess an XP machine? Was your guess an XP machine? If so, congratulations. If not, it's sad here. Damn it! After expanding our grinding capacity. If not,
damn it. After expanding our grinding capacity, this happens. This happens. I have no idea what's going on here. Those are real items. Once they pop off this invisible belt they're traveling on, they can be picked up and interacted with, but as to why this has happened, I have no idea. Once I block the sand dropper and the washer clears out all the sand that's there, it stops. But as to why they run this line and it gets stopped at the vertical belt, no idea. Now, why did we need this whole contraption? Well, we need XP jelly babies for one of the singularities. And, for 2, you need XP, not cognium, for duping mobs. You have reached hour 100. Please clap. Now back to the reason why we captured a witch. With our new XP system, we can now supply a mob duper with the required XP, and then that just allows us to cram witches into the Wall of Suffering. Why say Wall of Suffering? Yes, Wall of Suffering. This is not Terraria. Well, that's the Wall of Flesh. Close enough. Suffering. Why witches? Well, witches use potions in order to stay alive, which means they can contribute more blood than the average mob to the system. Easy. And instead of me needing to constantly claim these nuggets for XP, I just get a deployer and an obelisk and just have it do it, since I can just retrieve the levels out of the obelisk, and then they're back to being liquid XP rather than fucking cognium. And now to take another crack at setting up a good system for the erythral slates. We're going to go with that one. We're going to call it bait for the comments. Ah, I've hit my elbow on my mic arm. Fuck. We're fine. Next, slates. This becomes the penultimate version of this thing, with level emitters preventing stone from being transferred when something is actively being transformed in the altar, and one for the level of blood in the altar itself, so we know how much we have, and it will only go when there's enough blood to actually do the full thing. But it still has a fatal flaw, which we'll fix later, once I actually notice it. It's later. Once I actually notice it. I also finally remember builders can have filters, so we expand the budding emeralds, both with more buds for more crystals, and more compressors, since with this many buds we're going to need more, and because the final dupable item is done, so I don't need all those up there, so I can just use them here. You're a pain in my ass. You're a pain in my ass. Just some machine not. You're a pain in my ass. I feel like something's missing from this. I mean, maybe just this here. That's because there is. The fuck? How the hell did this happen? Huh, that's... Don't worry, this is a semi-easy fix. I'm going to slice this here. Yeah, good. It looks like it's grabbed everything, so just crank this way. There we go. This audio, well, this audio is tied to this, so just crank this backwards. Crank this backwards, and then everything to the right should just be correct. You're a pain in my ass. Just delete this one, and we are going to redo this. Mechanism proceeds to be a major pain in my ass. There we go, that makes a whole lot more sense. Mechanism proceeds to be a major pain in my ass. Just some machine not wanting to work, and me not knowing why, despite it looking like it should just work fine. Who knows at this point? This
Hack is degrading the more I play it. Spend some time upgrading our power since I likely fucked shit up with some mechanism upgrade. Some mechanism upgrades, and now we're in a deficit. Back to fixing the slate maker. The fatal flaw in the system is that for some reason, likely with like redstone ticks or just how I have the items being moved around, it would rarely send 2 stone. Not 2 as in T-O, T-W-O. Also, I realized something. My keyboard has a really fucking stupid looking W. Looks more like an upside down M. You might argue, well, that's what W is. Not on this keyboard. This M looks like a fucking mailbox. A letter. This W looks like mountains, upside down. Two stone instead of 1. And what happens is that it will do both stone at the same time. But then it runs out of blood and will stall and reset the current conversion back to 0. So it will never reach the next slate, and all the blood being pumped into it as it's continuously being reset is wasted. The solution is adding more capacity so that we can hold enough blood for 2 slates, plus a little bit of overhead, and set it to only run when there's enough blood for both slates. This does not impact the speed of it at all, since filling from half to full on this new system is the same as filling from empty to full on the old one. It just prevents the clogging. Also, since I have enough water overhead for it, I do mess with the reactor and its reaction speeds, since we are very much behind on polonium at this point. I make the executive decision to say fuck create crafting and switch the balloons over to A2 craft. Again, it also capitalized the A there for some reason. Crafting. To A2 crafting. We spend a bit of time making a hammer from Tinkers. We need it since one of the quests is to ride a train through all the biomes. And what's a better way to clear a wide path for that than with a 5x3 hammer? We do notice a problem with the Botania system. One of the mana pools, I get the disappointed face for this. One of the mana pools fills faster than the other, and of course it's the one that's hooked up to the dispensers. So I would just move the comparator over to the other one, just run the redstone, it's all fine from there. And since now we've run out of hemp fiber, it's time to build a new greenhouse array so we can have enough to actually finish this pack. Actually finish this pack within a reasonable amount of time. As powerful as laser IO is, I wish there was a way, or I know how, to... That's new, not know. How to package settings for these things so you could just copy over the ins and outs. It'd be so nice when you're doing repetitive things like the array I'm building. Convert some mana steel by hand in the pool that fills faster, because if we just let it overflow, the rest of the mana that's supposed to be going into it is just going to go to waste, I believe. Since we have open crafting CPUs, I try to expand the balloon crafting, but for the first while I have this going, I'm pretty sure I'm just looping the items because I forgot to configure the only port buses to craft only. Also here, have a funny moment. So what should happen when this hits 0? All the... Thanks for the stick. Where? I don't have a stick in my inventory. There it is. The stick of... That's funny. That's accidentally funny. It was like, here's a stick. Oh, great. What's the... Where is it? Where the fuck is the stick? Is it here? Oh, there it is. The stick of lies. You cheeky bastard. You sly dog. I should really add that one. Hold on. I'm gonna go get that one. If I can get it. What do you mean it's not here? Fuck. I must go find that one. Those are 2 musts I must get after the stream. One is...
fucking coconut mauled at a reasonable volume, and then the other is Syndrome going, "You sly dog, you got me monologuing." Even more expansion for the balloons since we will be freeing up the stew crafting cores here soon. Finally bite the bullet on making lithium so that we can have massive energy storage. And now that we have that storage, we can just use the energy coming from the reactor turbine instead of just trashing it. I was worried it would explode if we just let it fill up, but at 60 tera FE, I'm pretty sure we're fine to just store all of it. And from that storage, we hook up the greenhouses directly with some brand new cables, which are better than the mechanism ones. In a hope to fix their power problem. It kind of works, just not for the ones affected by more watches, which are the ones I need to work more for more hemp. Finally take the slabs for the balloons off the Create Crafter and into AE2. Now put a fucking space there. After and into AE2. If I remember the intended way to use mechanism correctly, you're meant to have sectioned off areas making individual chemicals en masse, not the rinky-dink little setup I have here, where it's just directly going to each other. And now we're just in a deficit for nuclear fuel. Finally put a watch on the Britannia setup and look at it go. It does clog because the spreaders can't transport mana fast enough, but I just didn't want to go fight Gaia again for another Gaia spreader. It's not a hard fight, it's just tedious and annoying. I also try to set up a new source generator for the source gems with cactuses and Snand. And the leaking process for this mod is weird. The leaking process for this mod is weird. I'm not sure if I ever actually got it to work. And it ultimately didn't matter since you can get source from just existing and just add a watch and there you go. The main quests that are currently undone are anything related to industrial foregoing because oh, got foregoing right for once, thank you. A disillusionment chamber. Undone are anything related to industrial foregoing because the disillusionment chamber bullshit with its fluids. It's fluids. Why are you saying it like that? Fluids. And some Project E end up pack stuff. So going into foregoing, we just make it foregoing. We just making the base machine. We just making the base machine frame for all the machines we would need, and then just upgrading it to the next tier, craft the machines, just all in bulk, and then just go to the next tier, you know. And for the final two machines, you need ether gas. Remember me mentioning that bullshit? Ether gas. Remember me mentioning that bullshit? And how do you get that? Well, you need to laser drill a wither, which means we need to go get another stasis chamber. Joy. After getting one wither. Which means we need to go get another stasis chamber. Joy. After getting one, we build a box for the wither just in case this goes tits up, and then divert to expanding the treated plank production for some reason. You know, for the balloons. So the laser drill is a block that needs to see bedrock in order to work, right? So why does it have to be right next to the wither in order to get ether gas? Or am I just misremembering and mixing up mods here? After going around and checking on everything, since it's all just automated, we're just waiting. We add some more greenhouses for more hemp fiber. And with more hemp fiber comes more crafting, so another extension of the crafters go up. Plus... what was it? Quest. Plus... yeah, that's quests. Yeah, we're still waiting on that. Yeah, we're still waiting on that. Yeah, we're still waiting on that. Yeah, fluid pipes. That's the other thing we're waiting on, and that's like, yeah. Diamond knife, mana diamond, field projector vial. And field projector vial sword, Nate. Sword, Nate. And for that, we got bread and illumined column. Colon. What? Get a second X. Get a second XP obelisk because the first one is just about full from the auto XP system. Finally upgrade the nitro crystals to work with the ME system. It really was just as simple as a pattern provider and export bus. And then about a half hour of trying to make even more balloons is where I then... what's sad here? Where I then realized my mistake with all the export buses. So we fixed that. Whether or not it actually helped, I honestly have no idea. Make more balloon systems, make more greenhouses. Try a new thing with a Project E-Ring that make... Project E-Ring makes crops grow faster and harvest them for you, but it is nowhere near fast enough for what we need, and the watches do not affect it, so it is ultimately not worth it. The tutorial I found for it, more like just somebody's episode of the pack. They must be able to just let the game run by itself for hours, because that's the only way I can see this as anywhere near viable. But in a live stream setting like we are now, it is not. More watches for the greenhouses, despite the diminishing returns, mainly because it's just a whole lot easier to add watches than it is to add greenhouses, mainly because of the laser IO network. Get a second pyrolyzer for the tree. A second. There we go. Pyrolyzer. Pyrolyzer for the treated planes going. Planes going. So if we're going to do this biome train quest, I'm going to want haste just in order to dig all the way out there just that much faster. It seems like the best way to do that is a blood pendant from Britannia. With this pendant, we get haste for as long. We get haste for as long as we have mana, and it's not hard to have mana on us. We can just siphon it from the mana pools that we're using to make mana steel. Find out that maybe we've just been bottlenecked. Find out that maybe we've just been bottlenecked on fiber because there's not enough water in the system to keep up. So just add a line of infinite water amulets, and it just seems to fix it, which is nice. Well, nothing left to do but to get digging, and then once we get through all that, we just fly all the way back without the UI on, because it's nice. And then learn how to create trains work, because I've never really used them, never had a reason to. This isn't Factorio. And then just start laying down the tracks so we can get this over with. Get all the tracks laid down and just rip down those tracks in a train and just fly back since the trains suck. And then just fly back since the trains suck in reverse. Tear down the old mob farm since it's just taking up spawns for the blood well. That's that quest done. And Sigil of the Green Grove. And Sigil of the Green Grove. Great. Block off. Block off. That's block off. Block off the train tunnel since I didn't bother to light it up, and now mobs are coming through. And now mobs are coming. Coming through. Fully cover the well with cursed earth. Cursed earth simply for completeness sake. I don't think it actually helped at all. Spend just about an entire hour adding 3 more mob duplicators for chickens under the Well of Suffering, because it does work under it. Simply just in the hopes of getting more blood. We did 3 because I lost 1 to... We did 3 because I lost 1 to the item collection system. Get the nitro singularities moved over, get the mana steel singularities moved over, and now we're just stuck in a waiting... Now we're just... in the mad one. Stuck in a waiting game with the urethral... urethral slates and the mob souls. So we get to work on the transmutation tablet. It's a carryable table. It oh. Feels wrong. Yeah, because it is wrong. There we go. It's a carryable table. It's very convenient. And the second main roadblock is the main one is infinity ingots. It is HDPE pallets. You didn't get the E. E. What's from, you guessed it, mechanism, but we only needed 1 pellet since it's it's dupable, and we just fuck around for the rest of the hour. We try bucket spam to speed up the blood, which could work if I had more room to fucking work with here for like creating shit. You're just completely lying to me of where they actually are. We go back to killing chickens ourselves to help hopefully speed up the blood. Replace the chickens with horses since they give more blood since they have more HP, but they also have hitbox issues, so back to chickens. And finally, we hit the last slate singularity and move them over, and we are in fucking business. Completion, here we come. Here we come. But goddamn is the fucking create crafter slow even at max fucking speed. So I just start crafting them myself because I can do a stack before the machine can do a stack. Make the tablet, dupe it. Dupe it, then convert the dupe tablet into a book of knowledge so we can dupe everything that is dupeable. Decide fuck it, I'll do it all myself, which was a bad idea to move everything from where it was into obsidian chests, because I somehow lose a singularity. Luckily, it was just the train tracks, which we've been storing since there was the train quest and I didn't know how many tracks I would need, so just all of them. Get all the cows crafted. Craft them all into ingots. Remake the red matter tool. All the cows crafted. Craft them all into ingots. Remake the red matter tools since I crafted them into different items. Plus, my ME system has... That's why. Plus, my ME system has been eating items, I don't know why. And finally. I think I'm just gonna redo the... Just, all this over here. And it's break time. Nope. Almost ran over my headphones again. Alright. Planet Eater, and then World Breaker. No, don't do that. There we go. All chapters completed. God damn, this took too fucking long. I love how it put that in quotes for the first part. Like, the first part was correct. This part, no, that doesn't need to be in quotes. I think I have it set to remove. Me dying. What the hell we get for all this? Sigil of Holding. Frozen Lake. Netherite, Suppression, Fast Miner, Herculean Flux, a bunch of other shit I don't care about. Alright. Well, back up the... Back up the world. $1 in code. Or in Kofi if you want it for no good reason. You already kind of know my thoughts. This took way too fucking long. The pack wasn't put together in a way that I would enjoy. Like, it had a lot of care put into it, but just for me, no. That's my... that's my fault. Maybe Stoneblock 4 will be better, but we'll look into that once Nixon... I was going to add this. Should be in here. Here it is. There we go. Good. I already see it. The fucking ampersand. Nix's Funhouse SMP season number 3 is over. But like, comment, subscribe, or don't. And until next time, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Some more. And then the outro plays. Hooray. Alt-X, let me... I think we're good. Yeah, this is hour 35, and I do not see any text boxes. I was mainly checking for the text boxes. Making sure I didn't, for some reason, do the first episode for whatever reason. Snap captions. Subtitle track 1, no effect. My default. And... RIP. It's thinking. There it goes. Apparently there's a update to snap captions I should probably install, but I'm gonna do that after this is all done. So I'm also going to update DaVinci. Because you want to not be in the middle of like big projects and update shit, because that tends to break. Not tends to, it can. So there's that. What else? Yeah, I don't have problems if the SMP project gets corrupted, because they're simple 1-minute videos and ish, and I have the voiceovers still. They're not in DaVinci. They're not super complicated. I would just need to get the positioning of the text and the logo and the video sorted, and that's not hard, so it'd be super simple and easy. And this is gonna take a bit, isn't it? I mean, yeah. I just looked over. There's about 5,000 text boxes. Yeah, that's a lot. We got a hour 46 to go through, and we're only at a minute 15. Then we gotta do thumbnails. We can think of thumbnails. Spaghetti. That's what I was thinking for the second thumbnail because of all the spaghetti wiring. Yes, these are stone blocks. Maybe just have the fucking... Have my character get JPEG... 3 JPEGs of stone blocks from Minecraft. And just have the title. Yes, these are 3 stone blocks. Your point. That sounds like a good idea, actually. Okay, yeah, I think we can do that one for the first one. What can we do for the second one, though? It's hard because it's all just a bunch of waiting around. I have violated the Geneva Convention. Because we have the exploded reactors. We have mass animal slaughter.
You've awoken something deep inside me.
Just Jin busting into a room, saying that. Crickets. Yeah, the second one's really... There's something people do is that when they're doing a series, it'll all be the same thumbnail, but it'll be like part 1, part 2. Like, I don't like doing that. I could get... Ooh, what I could do is get the Infinity Catalyst and just the title finally, but at what cost? Not the title, like the text title and the thumbnail. I think technically you're not supposed to put words in thumbnails because it's not, people don't read them, but I don't care. I like having text in the thumbnails. Yeah, I think that's going to be our ideas for the thumbnails once we can actually make the thumbnails. Because I'm just going to do it here. DaVinci is a lot easier to use than GIMP for making thumbnails. Like, it has layers. You can do a lot more. At least in my understanding of DaVinci. I understand DaVinci a lot more than I understand GIMP. I just use GIMP for fucking pixel art. That means after this, we'll be able to go back to playing video games. Like the schedule said, we'll... No, don't do that. But like the schedule I posted said, this week's just kind of reset, so Wednesday is going to be Minecraft, but we're going to do Nyx's Funhouse SMP, and we'll keep doing that so long as the server's still running. So long as season number 3 is still going, we'll be doing a Funhouse on Wednesdays. We'll do it again Friday, because, well, content reset. And then, come Monday, so next week, we'll start Ender Lilies, we'll do Minecraft, and then it's back to League. I'm also probably going to have to clean up the hard drive, because I have a bunch of I have all the old streams I need to delete. I have all the clips I need to delete, because they're all rendered. Did my hand tracking stop? I think the hand tracking stopped. Tracking has died completely. Okay. Oh well, as long as DaVinci keeps going. Might be a RAM thing. Oh, looks like my face tracking has also stopped. Might also be a RAM thing? Oh, wait, no. There goes a message. Yep. It is probably maybe also a bit of disk space usage. Actually, I think OBS is the main OBS is the main contributor to disk space usage, not, Huh, we've only lost about 3,000 frames, so that's not terrible. Wait, kinda, ish, OBS is rubber banding the, the bit rate, so it's kinda killing the streamish. Yeah, it's mainly, I think it's mainly because we're using most of our RAM. Yeah, we're dropping frames now because OBS is trying to send more data to Twitch, and Twitch is just middle fingering us. Is the hand tracking working again? Yeah, hand tracking is working again. So is the face tracking, okay. There we go. The OBS is stabilized. I don't know why it tries to do that. Tries to make up for the upload lag. Disk space available. No, that's not right. Oh wait, no, that's the C drive. Yeah, because disk space full and approx unknown because it's not writing to the C drive yet. It's checking the C drive. There we go. And DaVinci lowered memory, and now everything is fine. Yeah, everything was dying because DaVinci was just memory hogging all of it. All right, makes sense. Back to the multi-chat. But yeah, next week we should be back in the swing of things. I gotta delete the old streams. The only ones I'll need to keep are the Funhouse recordings, which have all been offline. And those are all sorted into their proper folders. So I'll probably just go through everything and see what I need to keep and delete. Oh yeah, that reminds me, there were screenshots I wanted to share on the server. That's a note to myself screenshot. What's this one? Ah, yes, that's the screenshot I need to share. Me coming home like, huh. What's this one? Oh yeah, the creepers currently have leprechaun hats because it's St. Patrick's Day. I'll leave that open for later. This is almost done. And then we can start making the actual thumbnails. And there we go. Actually, there is one other thing. Let's go home. In, scroll. I need to scroll a ways. Because we still need to put these on the deliver page. Here we go. Out, deliver. There we go. Main export, browse, editing materials, finish videos, my time with. Stone Block 3, part 1. I'm probably not gonna do the old thing I did, which was at a render queue. Have which would be to have the full story episode, which would be all the my times with put together. I think I'll only do that if there's like more than 5 episodes. Two is the second one. Yeah. Add to render queue. Alright, those are in render queue. I'm gonna go to the edit page. So Minecraft Stone. Here we go. Save image as. I can put this in 1 times. DaVinci. Open a new tab. 1 times. Stone. I'll just use the disappointed face. Something I do want a background. DaVinci Resolve. Nope, not blur. Gradient. How do I do a... let's see here. 3-minute video. Oh, I'm subscribed to this guy. Sweet. This is more... not what I'm looking for. Also not what I'm looking for. Translations, titles. Okay, that's working.
Why am I even editing? Nothing? Oh, wait, no, I'm editing the outro clip. Oops. I don't think because if I go back to edit, yeah, it just locks it back there. Ah, fuck. It needs a clip to be able to manipulate. Also not what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm trying to do. I want a background. To this image. Well, that made a whole lot, and fuck. Oh well. I want a background. Ugh. I think what I need. I go into Fusion. Yeah, it's just trying to edit a thing. So I can get a media out, but like, the issue is that the thing won't show up, I don't think. Because if I just add a sacrificial text box, that should, yeah. And if I delete it, media out, and then if I just make it red, edit. Oh wait, no, that's working. Okay, hold on. Set this to 0. There we go. Back to Fusion. I don't want that actually red. That needs to be black.
This needs to be white. With 2 L's and ellipse? Yes. Now we have that. I can't get that to go higher, it doesn't seem. I think technically... I can't seem to adjust that. I can adjust this, though. Oh, wait, soft edge. That's more what I'm looking for, technically. If I go back to the edit page and just... You know what? That works. Color page. Please. Thank you. Grab still. Export. Ah, cool. It's already in thumbnails. Part 1. Export. Shit, what was the, I had the idea for the second thumbnail and now I've forgotten. Fuck. Oh, what could we do for the second thumbnail? Because I forgot. Damn it, damn it, damn it. This is why I need notes for myself. Fuck. That wasn't it. Fuck. Theoretically, I can go back and figure it out, but I kinda don't want to. Especially since I would not know where it was. Fuck it. I don't need to be recording editing streams, they're not going to be used for anything, this will just be deleted later. Do not care. I'm listening to myself to try to remember what the fucking second one is. There's speed. Next media, no. Is there playback speed? I don't think that did anything. I think I found the part, I just gotta listen. Yep. Okay, I think okay. Maybe this is it. I'm going to keep watching because I'm not sure if that's actually... Yeah, so the Infinity Catalyst. Okay, I think I have an idea. So, let me get the Infinity Catalyst. Infinity Catalyst Minecraft. Infinity Catalyst. Minecraft skeleton. Give me a skeleton. Why is there a skeleton? There's a skeleton with a pair of fucking binoculars. Whatever. Save image as. Minecraft. Watch of flowing time. Do we have a JPEG of just the watch of flowing time? There's the yellow version, which is the activated version.
Bitches love cannons.
Not quite. If this has the pedestal. Nope, that also just has the activated version. Ah, this is an old wiki where it was always yellow. Okay. So it used to be yellow instead of gray, always. Okay. Back into DaVinci, new image. 1 times, get that. I'm going to have to cut out that catalyst and get that. So the skeleton is fine. Yeah, because the Infinity Catalyst does not have transparent background. I'm not going to go fight for one. Because I have no idea where I might find one. Yeah, I kind of figured. Let's do this instead. No black. Okay. There we go. Just track it. Probably should have cut down the size of it, but oh well. There we go. Oh, why are we shrinking? Oh, the text box over there, that's fine. Only about what cost, and now we need to go into Fusion and make a new background out of this. I'm gonna try. Because I could use this one. This one would actually work this time. So, the issue with this short is that it doesn't show you
Let's... So let's start here. That might help. I'll have to see what he actually grabbed. Let's just get an actual gradient. I'm not sure how to actually get a gradient in here. This is the color page. Generators in the edit. Cancel. Effect. Generators. Oh, 4 color gradient. I think this is also editable. Settings. Those are the regular. Okay, so it is only just 4 colors. The lower left should be the yellow. Lower right should be that. Upper right should be this. I mean, this works. No frame available for media out. Fixed. Maybe make this text just a wee bit larger. Finally, but at what cost? I think I'll move this to 0, 0 and move the skeleton over. Flip him vertically back. Move the watch. Part of me just wants to take the watch and use all of our vertical spaces for more watches. Alright. Then get where everything's on screen again. So this is the top watch. So actually, let's put the top watch up here. Watch below it, like over here. Actually going to do skeleton more like this. All this down by one. Yeah, but that looks messy. Now they're over the skeleton. I think having 4 on each side of it probably the better idea here. And then what I can do is move the skeleton down into this void space. And there we go. Color page. Grab still. Fucking... I wish DaVinci would save color exports as just the thing I title them as. I wonder if that's a thing I can fix. DaVinci Resolve. Export from page. Changing the name. No, I don't want to rename nodes. Might just go ask the Reddit, hey Reddit, do you know why and how I could fix exporting images from the color page adds a bunch of numbers I didn't put there, and how I can get that to stop? Literally, if I go to the fucking thumbnail folder, like just like LES4, so Low Elo Shenanigans 4 underscore 5.3.1, and then it does the same thing for all the others, and I don't know why. There's no fucking reason for it. Ugh. Hate it. Ugh. Yeah, I'll have to go through everything and get stuff set up and ready. Alright. That should be it for today. Got everything edited. We got the thumbnails made. Oh yeah, I accidentally manipulated the text earlier for that. Yeah, it's 3 stone blocks. Your point? And then, finally, but at what cost? Well, that is done. We are done. Stream almost died because of it. The fucking... shit, is anybody live? I don't think so. No. Oh, the Taylor's live. Granted, the only other people in here are probably already watching the Taylor, so...